All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Computer Applications. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at a couple of really handy tools that you can use in order to design your presentations. First off, we're going to be taking a look at what is called the slide sorter view, and there's a couple of different views that you can use for that. The slide sorter view is this film strip or grid view that you have been working with or seeing that just pops up by default there. With that being said, you can actually click and drag slides around. Now you'll notice that our new points 1 and 2 from a previous lesson are now in position 3 instead of position 2 like they originally were. You can do the same thing here, right? So with the grid view, now I've moved our new points down into position 4, and you can quickly and easily rearrange and move your slides around that way, which is Google's version of slide sorter view, as it were. With that being said, the other thing you're going to be looking at today as well is using speaker notes. If you've noticed down at the bottom here, right, you can add notes to your individual slides in your presentation. If for some reason you can't see those, just come up here to the view menu and you can show the speaker notes there. Speaker notes can be helpful because when you're going through your presentation, you can actually make notes here if you have a second screen that you're presenting to. Just to give you a view of what that might look like, if we come up here to present, if you hit this little drop down arrow, you can present with presenter view. Presenter view is one of my favoriteest things to do. And you can see here, now we're on slide 304, but we could easily move back and forth between it in the presentation, which I really, really like. So with presenter view, right, we can move back and forth between slides. You can increase and decrease the zoom of things. You can click through your presentation. You can see your next slides coming as they come up and move, as the case may be there, right? One of the things that I think is really fancy too, right, is as you're presenting here, you can see right here the notes that I made, or the note that I made for slide 3. One thing that we're not going to use that might be helpful in the future for you is this audience tools button, which can be really fancy because you can actually start a interactive presentation. So by running this through Google Slide, you can actually have people asking questions, as it were, from the audience. My recommendation for that is to have someone else moderate that if possible while you're giving your presentation, so that you're not constantly distracted by questions popping up. But could be a handy tool for some of your presentations in the future, maybe for a presentation for a different class that you're doing, or maybe in presentations that are coming up. We'll have to consider that in the future, but I just wanted to point that out for you. Besides that, that's really everything that you're going to be doing today. As just one last little point of note, your speaker notes, you can actually print those out if you are so inclined. If you come down to print settings in preview, you can actually print your slides one at a time. You can print a handout version of your slides. You can print your slides with notes. So if we scroll down here to page 3, look, there's my notation for slide 3, as it were. So a lot of different things that you can do. But with that, that's really all you're going to be doing today. So I'm going to cut the recording here and let you go ahead and get started.